What's up, y'all? My name is Sydney,
And it's Bree.
and we are the Just Married podcast. It's not a marriage podcast. We just married.
Just married. The last time we saw you all via this podcast is probably the last day that we had with normalcy. It's been a lot going on.
Yeah, I think everybody's saying that. That's like their last normal day.
Yeah. Like whatever
March
day it
13th.
was in March.
It was March 13th, actually.
Yeah, okay, March 13th. That
Yeah.
was our last normal day. We haven't seen you all via this podcast in a while. And so we just want to take a moment, number one, to just reflect on everything going on from the COVID-19 pandemic to the riots to the protests and everything. It's crazy because we was talking about it when we were on here the last time.
Yeah, it was kind of a much more lighter subject at the
Way
time.
lighter.
I don't think we knew anybody who had personally been affected as far as death or sickness in the family from COVID, but eventually we do have some friends and like close family members who've been affected, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy, and I guess to just have the ongoing issue with the pandemic and find out new information every day,
Yeah.
and then compounded by the recent police killings and the people taken to the streets since then.
Yeah, I definitely want to just give my thoughts and my prayers to anyone whose family was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, anyone who lost someone, anyone that had the virus, and anybody in any way that was affected. It was a lot of different ways you could have been affected by the pandemic. So, just a serious tone. I want to just offer my condolences to some, my thoughts and my prayers just all around.
Definitely.
And I'm glad to see Illinois is taking strides and whatnot
Yeah,
as far as lowering the numbers, bending the curve and all of that. And, I just hope that the U.S. As a whole continues to do the same. We had some great numbers today, but nevertheless, it's still people that's being affected, whether it's 2 lives, whether it's 20 lives, it's still lives that's being affected. So my thoughts are definitely with everyone who was affected by the pandemic.
Yeah. Most definitely. And so shout out to the whole Illinois being one of the states that's having numbers decrease the fastest.
The only state to meet all 3 of the criterion to reopen. So, we're not really reopening too prematurely, which is cool.
As compared to other states?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
know that
we're not opening.
He doesn't read as much as me.
Whatever. But speaking of reading, I wanted to bring up some cool information I ran across that kind of puts it in perspective. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm gonna find it. It was more so because what we've seen is a lot of commentary, people talking about what the protests and what they stand for. You're gonna have people who firmly stand and say Black Lives Matter. You're gonna have the All Lives Matter crowd, and then what kind of put some something spicy in the middle of it all was the looting. And if you live on, I would say the south side, but it's all sides of the city, over east, out west.
Downtown.
People eat downtown, up north, in some places. I don't frequent out there, so I really don't know. But I do know that the whole city is affected, and people gave their opinion about it. And it was a really powerful quote from James Baldwin about people rioting. And you can find a bunch of different quotes, but this is from James Baldwin. They asked him, "How would you define somebody who smashes in the window of a television store and takes what they want?" And he says, before I get to that, how would you define somebody who puts a cat where he is and takes all the money out of the ghetto where he makes it? Who is looting whom? Grabbing of the TV set. He really doesn't want the TV set. He's saying, screw you. It's just judgment, by the way, on the value of the TV set. He doesn't want it. He wants to let you know he's there. The question I'm trying to raise is a very serious question. The mass media, television, and all the major news agencies endlessly use that word looter. On television, you always see black hands reaching in, And so the American public concludes that these savages are trying to steal everything from us. And no one has seriously tried to get to where the trouble is. After all, you're accusing a captive population who has been robbed of everything of looting. I think it's obscene. And that's real deep. Like, not even to just go so much into my own personal politics, but I do think it is important that we keep it in focus that some of the people you see on TV looting, some of the people you see on TV, you know, rioting and getting their anger out in the form of like physical aggression, are some of the people who are out there because they feel like they don't have no other option. They feel like their voice needs to be heard. And of course, people are going to say, people, they not about justice. They just want to get some free stuff and get some free TVs. Well, they added to the overall statement that was made. So whether you agree with it or not, you have to understand that it does play a bigger role in the whole political scheme of things that people who haven't been heard from it, who, you know, been downtrodden up, speaking up.
Definitely agree. And you know what? It's crazy because I feel like more than anything is black people talking about other black people looting. Like,
for sure.
I feel like, and you know, I think I have a pretty diverse population on social media and whatnot due to my career and other, you know, aspects, but I don't see them, you know, too much talking about the looters. It's black people going hard, like super hard on the looters, and the reality is we already in a race war, but we about to create like a generation war because it's like the baby boomers are going ham on the millennials and the Gen Zs, and y'all looting and y'all doing this, and I think it's crazy that I don't have her name and I'm not going to actually go look or whatever, but young lady wrote a long statement about the riots and everything, and I couldn't agree with her anymore. I couldn't have said it any better. She basically was saying that the looting may not be about George Floyd or any other person that was killed due to police brutality, but at the end of the day, we're only as strong as our weakest link. And those riots and that looting had to do with every other disparity that African Americans have had to face, you know, throughout the times. And I mean, the reality is it was really like we've been facing poverty for years. And the reality is some of the looting, we saw videos of people in Subway making sandwiches, you know, in Chipotle making bowls, and
I didn't see the Chipotle one. I did see the.
I saw the Chipotle one. No, they was making bowls, and let me just say this: if I could get behind Chipotle,
I was saying that's the illest Chipotle bowl. You know when you'll be back there, you probably make your bowl so wicked.
Ooh, Jesus.
Extra guac, you feel me? Double scoop on the meat.
Heck yeah, reparations.
2 scoops of guac. Reparations. No, but jokes aside though, the first thing that popped in my mind is that person really hungry.
Yeah.
For you to be in the middle of a riot or whatever you want to call it, looting, and you stop to fix a sandwich, and I mean,
and they was making the sandwiches fast as hell. Like they
definitely need to apply to something after this.
Yeah, like.
But now let's just say you in the middle of a riot, even if it take you a minute to fix the sandwich. People, just think about all the chaos that's going around you, and this person was literally thinking where their next meal is going to come from. So all these people shouldn't just be lumped in with people who just want another flat screen in their crib.
And think about this. We were just talking about the pandemic and how people were affected differently. Some people may have not been affected as far as, you know, actually having the virus or knowing people that have the virus or loved ones, but they could have been affected as far as like money. Like, you know, I'm very grateful that nothing really changed for me other than waking up and going to work during the pandemic. But the reality is it changed a lot of things for a lot of people. We had to stay at home. Some people don't even have homes like that to be staying in. And some people, the homes that they stay in, you know, may not be conducive to just sit there, you know, for however many, last week.
Yeah. Everybody's crib is not that cozy where they can just sit in the house and order DoorDash and watch Netflix. There's people who are having real life situations where their life is not as cozy, so you got to keep that in mind.
They wasn't on Amazon ordering stuff, getting stuff, on Facebook complaining about how boring being at home is. So at the end of the day, everybody just needs to check their privilege. You know, you may not think that, you know, you got it all or whatever, but the reality is what you have, some people may not even have a fourth of that. So check your privilege, be calm, be cool, lift as you climb, reach out to the youth, don't talk about them. Next.
Yeah.
On a lighter note. B. Simone. Was he talking about that?
Oh, wow. That you want to go right to that? On a lighter note, shout out to everybody, not just so we're not going to single out because I don't like how you said Shorty's name right after. Shout out all the celebrities who got themselves canceled over the last week, including her. I think she's going to bounce back because she already not to say it like that, she wasn't at such a big magnitude where it's just a couple pages of her self-help book. She gonna bounce back from this, but it's just to break it down. B. Simone, the girl who was talking how she manifested that $1 million with everybody's help about a month ago, and everybody was congratulating her on her success. She kind of ran into some back-to-back issues. One was she made some kind of negative comments surrounding protesters and rioters or whatever. You could look it up and see what she said. And then she doubled back and was talking about how she can't date a guy with a 9 to 5 and how she needed guys in the entrepreneurial mindset. And I'm not knocking her for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think that was a bad comment. That was literally just her.
She was spot on. And it's not like she was saying she was trying to get something that she can't provide. She lived in an entrepreneur lifestyle, so she was saying she wanted a guy who is too. Simple as that. People got up in arms. But where it went wrong is that people don't want to hear you talking down on 9 to 5 workers, especially in 2020.
Is it talking down though?
Hear me out. When it comes to dating preferences, you can't. It's a lot of stuff.
You can't say what you prefer.
Okay. It's a lot of things you can say that's your preference. That if you say it, depending on how you say it, is going to be an issue.
No, that's what I was going to say.
A dude cannot say in 2020, yeah, man, I'm only looking for red bones.
Yeah,
I'm only looking for red bones. Or he can't say nothing about. He could say, as a matter of fact, he could say he want like a BBW, but he can't say he want women that's under a certain weight. Like it's going to be things where if you say, people going to take a certain way. And it's justified, a lot of it. But the main point people was just making was just don't talk down on 9 to 5 people. Then they found out she plagiarized a couple pages out her books, and now they saying you're going to need a 9 to 5 lawyer. It's finna get ugly for Shorty.
Yeah, I think it was the way she said it.
Shorty from the show, from T.I.'s show, Shekinah, she running around. She might be canceled.
I don't think she's going to be canceled. Number one.
How canceled can she be?
Wait, let's talk about it first off. Because people may have not even seen it.
The Gucci store ain't did y'all.
No, you gotta do it. Yeah, Gucci ain't did nothing, y'all.
Yeah, man.
She was upset about the Gucci store being. It was stupid.
Yeah, she was upset.
In all actuality, I don't think she's gonna be canceled because
she may be.
Wait, listen. I don't think she's gonna be canceled because the type of celebrity she is and the type of people that like her or whatever.
Can I see the limit?
It's the type that's gonna pretty much, they
multitask.
They're gonna think that's funny or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think nobody took it as funny, man. People not jacking that. They not feeling that. They not feeling her saying that, man.
And you know what? I'm not gonna say she kind of like for a lack of better words, an ignorant type funny, and that's how people probably looking at it. I mean, what she said was absurd to me. Like, you upset because they looted the Gucci store. People already got issues with Gucci over the blackface and stuff.
Of all the brands she could have said to say Gucci and
shit,
they did none of y'all.
Yeah.
She tweaked.
Yeah.
But just now, but just to tie back in, a lot of celebrities said some stuff they probably should have ran by their PR before they said it and have kind of rubbed people the wrong way because it's a real touchy subject. And how she was talking about how she has a diverse crowd. The reason why we're not seeing a lot of probably more controversial opinions by our friends who are not black is because they don't want to get canceled themselves. You don't gotta make that face.
No, yeah.
People feel the ways about the looters. Of course, they're not gonna say it on Facebook. Yeah. But when you black and you had a nerve to say it, that's when you really walking on thin ice, especially because the people who you gonna call yourself talking down on are your main supporters, most likely, unless you are. I can't even think of what niche community you might be in. I don't even want to mention the name of the people, but it's people who make their money out talking. Other black people who make their money off talking down on black people, but they don't have the supportive community, so they are already in a position where they were never on to get canceled. Something we talked about on the last podcast: rappers versus singers, and I was saying
I don't want to talk about that right now.
No, why not? Because I want to just get it out.
Let's just before I forget. We got to talk about
more current stuff.
Yeah, we got to talk about being in a relationship.
Oh my God.
We got to talk about being in a relationship.
We should have canceled this topic. It'll test your relationship. Shout out to everybody who had to bond out on the domestic during this. Everybody who had to post bond on a little domestic dispute.
Not a little domestic.
The ladies and the gentlemen who.
Wait, that's not funny though.
You laughed. I didn't.
I laughed because you said a little domestic. Like
No, jokes aside though. No, jokes aside.
Like all jokes aside,
a lot of people
that
don't have, and I mean, we're blessed to have enough space where we live to where we can go be in separate rooms and not have to deal with each other. We got the baby there. He, helps either of us calm down. We can
or it
chill
gets us
out.
hyped. He active now.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. We can take a minute from each other. So, it's people who got less space or don't even want to be around a person or whatever. So I know it's been a lot of arguments turned ugly over this whole situation about toenails popping and all this, all the little pet peeves probably just came to the surface over this. So
you know what, our quarantine, our married in quarantine situation took it went like a slope. It was good though, It started like
no,
this.
we don't know. Tell us about it.
Okay. I'm saying because you was there. But it started right here because I'm working, being a mother, being a wife, cooking, all that crap. It was too much. I was getting, Jesus.
He was getting,
Just thinking about it. But anyway, I was getting really tied down. It was crazy. But it started to, take a great turn because, we, as the pandemic went on, we were more comfortable with being around our immediate family and, our immediate family being around the baby.
Yeah.
And, both of us actually have had some great success with our businesses during the quarantine. I've been able to focus a lot of more time on putting out my business, and I actually launched my business. What was that? Memorial Day weekend? That's what you do in the house all day.
It is. What is Memorial Day weekend?
Okay, I launched my business Memorial Day weekend. Chillin' Grilled Sauces by Bree. So I make marinades, and a lot of it, comes from me being in the house and cooking and, just being the great wife and mother that I am.
She all right.
What? Father's Day coming up now, I'm all right.
My gifts better already been ordered and prepared.
Anyway.
If you in a position where you can still ruin your Father's Day,
anyway.
Celebrate with some different people.
No, you may be, because you know how I do. I celebrate the whole week. I celebrate the whole week for your birthday, everything.
Today is Monday.
You didn't deserve it.
Yesterday, the celebration should have started.
No, it may start tomorrow. Just be on your best behavior. Anyway, yeah, but I was able to launch my business, and
okay, tell us more about this business.
It's actually going great. I have a Juneteenth special right now, especially because a lot of people are barbecuing for Juneteenth.
So, because you doing.
Why don't you ask me about some questions about my business?
Yeah, because I was about to say you took
okay,
into the
go.
whole press release thing, so let's just go with it. All right, Chillin' Grilled Sauce by Bree. You said a lot of it is inspired by you being a wife and mother. Talk to us more about the three sauces and what they use for and how that even came into play.
So
because all wife and mothers don't just think of three, marinades.
That's true. That's true. I'm a wife that's in the kitchen a lot, and I'm a mother that's in the kitchen a lot. I cook my baby's food. I puree his food. I, do all of that. I cook. So I like cooking. I enjoy it, all of that. So I make these not purees. I'm not the baby now. I make these sauces, and I do a lot of different marinades when I'm in the kitchen. And I noticed that my husband, he barbecues very well. But he needed a little extra to his barbecue.
What?
Yeah, you needed a little extra. So I took some of the marinades that I make while I'm cooking, and I jarred them up, and took them down there. Because, he was barbecuing all throughout this quarantine through the cold. It was 50 degrees. Oh, it's a warm day. Let's barbecue. You ain't got nothing else to do. So, I jar them up or whatever and let him use them on the food. And then I was like, man, these are some good marinades for barbecue too. But mind you, I've been making the marinades for a while. But it's with the whole barbecue thing, and I was thinking I should sell these, and my husband helped me come up with the name Chillin' Grill. Shout out to him. And
Shout out to me. Percentages. For sure.
What's mine is yours and yours mine. Anyway, yeah, he helped me come up with the name, and I went on and launched it Memorial Day weekend. I did a live video with some different ways to use the sauces. I also have a seafood dipping sauce that can actually be used as a marinade too. Right now I'm running my Juneteenth special, 3 jars for $19.
Okay. So like 19 for like Juneteenth?
Yeah.
Oh, and only 19 people could get it, right?
Yeah, only 19 people can get it.
All right.
I think about 6 have gotten it so far. I just got it today. I sold a lot of jars throughout this less than a month, and I've been getting some great reviews. My honey garlic sauce is like a little sweeter sauce. I put it on my shrimp. I put it on my salmon. I pretty much put it on anything that I would enjoy sweet. But my all-purpose sauce, you can put it on chicken. You can put it. It's literally for all purposes. You can put. I put it on my green beans. I love it on my green beans. Love it on my veggies.
Being a wife and mom during the quarantine, came up with a business. I think a lot of people did that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people did. I think I saw something saying everybody was in like a war with themselves. A lot of people are feeling they need to be super productive during the quarantine. A lot of people took the chance to use it as some downtime, and then you had people in the middle who are just recalibrating their life and taking it a step at a time. But I think a lot of people went ahead and launched a business they was thinking about doing, or went ahead and monetized something that was waiting, that was asking for it, like Children's Girls House.
If you didn't, that's okay. If you worked on yourself and you worked on your mental piece, because there was a lot going on. Like, mentally, the pandemic was throwing me off for the first 2-3 weeks to see all of this death at, a high rate like this. So it's okay if you didn't, but that was my just little piece. You could go.
For sure. I think that's it. I think it's big. I definitely have been using this extra time to expand my business in some ways.
And let me just say, you've done a good job,
Appreciate it. GoldCoastGang.shop right now. Also go to lootedvuitton.com and grab one of these shirts that we both wearing. Not to turn it into a plug, but I do think it's very serious that whatever is the best for you, that's how you use your time during these times. Even because the situation is steadily evolving. It's ever evolving.
Yeah.
So everly, that's when it's ever evolving and steadily evolving at the same time. Everly evolving.
Now you made a new word.
A new word, everly. So can we go back to this?
Wait. Tell us about the Looted Vuitton shirts.
Looted Vuitton.
You got to tell us about it, because every time
all right, so
my husband make a design, my mama asks all types of questions.
It's very self-explanatory. Looted Vuitton. It's a pun, obviously.
Are you saying that because you have this shirt on, you looted Vuitton, or you condone looting Vuitton?
Yes, both.
You looted Vuitton?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
You gonna mess up Christmas? It's a Christmas surprise. You gonna mess up a Christmas surprise?
Negative. He did not loot Vuitton.
No, I'm not a looter. But shout out to everybody who was looting though. I didn't personally get nothing. Didn't grab nothing, didn't take nothing. I didn't personally. Anyway, but jokes aside, that was just commentary, man. Louis Vuitton, it's about the whole store. A lot of people fail to realize is that when you live in the first world where we live at, you got a roof over your head, you got a change of clothes, you got clean clothes, you got running water, you got a food, you got a refrigerator and a stove. You living better than it's a crazy statistic, you living better than 80% of the world or something crazy like that. Then when you add the fact that you're able to make a luxury purchase every once in a while, you live in the upper, 20% of human life. So when you think about stuff like Louis and Gucci and whoever else, I'm not about to give a free plug to designer items, you just got to think about that attainability that we all kind of are used to. Some of us going into debt to get this stuff. Some of us just get it however we get it. But that unattainability is very real. So just to see in an uprising moment like this where the Louis store and the Gucci store and the whoever store is smashed in and people just having these items laying around like nothing to really put in perspective that we all just human and it's just items. So we got to keep the meanings of life ahead of all this other material stuff because we already living good, man. It's not about Louis and whoever else.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I expected them to loot Gucci, Louis,
Yeah.
all of the white man's things.
Wow. All right. So can we talk about this, man? The rappers and singers.
What about it?
It's like
First off,
I'm not that passionate about this topic.
Wait. Shout out to the views that we got on the last podcast. But somebody did tell me I missed some rappers and singers I missed some people that are rappers and singers. And I'm like, Dad, because I named some, I can't even remember who I named, but it was some, I'm not going to say they were whack, but it was just, I wasn't thinking. Lauryn Hill, I forgot about Lauryn Hill.
You know what? That was supposed to go on my list, but...
Lauryn Hill was a rapper and a singer.
Lauryn Hill was a rapper that could sing.
No, oh my God.
She was a rapper first. She came out with the Fugees.
Lies. She was on Sister Act singing the gospel first.
Not before she was with the Fugees?
Yes, that was.
No, it wasn't.
We'll fact check later, but...
It wasn't.
I'm quite sure it was. And even if it wasn't...
No.
She didn't just learn how to sing like that overnight. Singing is something that you wake up and you know that you just know how to do.
All right.
Nothing that you can.
All
learn.
we were saying was that it's rappers who have gotten off, who have good singing songs or singing verses, but there aren't many singers, if any, who have great rap verses.
Well, Lauryn Hill does.
She is a rapper.
I was giving some other people, but I can't remember. But
well, you was fed information anyway. But the whole point of me bringing this up was because I was wrong the last time.
You were wrong.
A couple singers. Even though you R. Kelly, even though he canceled. Well, I'm not in any way supporting him. He did go crazy on Fiesta as far as rap verse.
What did he say?
Now you think you about to have me rapping?
No, I can't remember.
No, but everybody know how you put it down. Or was it Fiesta remix?
Fiesta. I don't know.
Some in a freak.
When I muted R. Kelly, I muted him from my mind. I don't know R. Kelly songs.
Wow. Okay. And the other one was Beyonce. She got a few rap verses on "Upgrade You." On that, I Got the Keys with DJ Khaled and Jigga and Future, and then on that partition with the Beyonce All in Your Mouth Like Liquor. That's a bar. So Beyonce is once again breaking. She is breaking. Beyonce All in Your Mouth Like Liquor. She's breaking. She's breaking the glass ceiling once again. She does have an epic rap verse. Speaking of, this is my other topic I want to bring up. Top 5 smash hits when you was in college. And you can't say Swag Surfing. Rest in peace. I got one right off the top.
I don't. I just
They
don't.
know. They know.
Oh, yeah, Shawty Low.
Yeah, rest in peace, Shawty Low, that one. All right, I'm going to do one more out there.
Oh, no, I got one. Buy you a drink.
Oh, buy you a drink. If you graduated high school in like 05 through like 07-ish, you should know about the T-Pain Buy You a Drink.
Buy You a Drink was
Clubs
07.
on Smash. Yeah, but I'm saying if you graduated college, if you graduated high school in 07, you made it to college that same fall, you was hearing that song in the club.
Oh, you know what? And I don't know if it may just be the college I went to, but what's dude from 112? Slim. I'm so fly.
No.
I swear, I used to like this.
That wasn't a smash hit in college. That Wayne. That
wasn't
I'm
a
not
smash.
just so sober. Don't think I ain't hard. That was a.
That wasn't a smash hit when you were in college.
What's
we
the
were
beat
in
without
college
bass?
different times. I believe so.
What's the beat without bass?
What's the beat without
That's
bass?
the song.
I don't remember.
That's the. Welcome to Dipset, baby. All right, that was that.
Upgrade You was a hit when I was in college. Anything on B-Day.
All right.
To the left, to the left.
What else?
Oh, the Lil Wayne. I'm comfortable.
The Lil Wayne.
To the left, to the left. If
The
you
Lil
want to
Wayne
leave,
Upgrade
be my
You.
guest. You could step. Oh,
The Lil Wayne version of Upgrade You was a hit.
okay. You said top 5. I think we at least named 6 songs.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Let's name one more. Oh, T.I., You Can Have Whatever You Like.
Yeah, I didn't like that song. I still don't like that song.
That was a hit. Well, I mean, you were a woman, so you wasn't about nobody. Nothing anyway. I'm just saying, fellas who was buying drinks, you can have whatever you like. That was a big thing back then. You was getting a couple dollars back then. Shout out to everybody who was getting a couple dollars.
You were buying them whatever they want?
Not whatever.
Or whatever they like?
One of those blue MFers or whatever the special is. You know, $5. You know. Now, don't get too spicy at the bar now. Order what you order on your own money now. Don't get too cute about
it. The college drinks was cheap.
I know.
I never ran across
No, not everybody. We used to drink.
No, I'm saying like it sounded like you was talking about a bar because you said a blue MFer and
I know at the college you went to, y'all had like campus parties and that was like the big thing at the convocation center.
We also had bars.
I'm not gonna go in. I'm not about to go in on Northern at the time, but it was nothing down there but campus.
And I'm not about to go in on Southern Illinois.
But we had actual clubs
in Carbondale. We had clubs and venues too. I'm sorry that you never went to one.
Non-existent. Anyway, it's not my anyway. Nevertheless, though, you know, that was one of the things I had, and I need to just give one line. This list is so bad going off the list.
I posted a Facebook status talking about how graduating from Northern Illinois University is one of the most underrated accomplishments. No, I'm serious.
That's how you even more underrated.
Both of them are underrated, but Northern is super underrated. It's super close to the city. It's so many distractions, and I just don't know how I did it, but I thank God. And I did it twice. But it's just, it's a lot of distractions. So anybody going to Northern Illinois University next year, just remember that the end road should be graduation. Don't be caught up out there partying with the city folks, with the Gishwaki folks, whoever. What's your other topic?
No, what you got to talk about? Say something else. Just you go on to your topic because I'm looking for something. I'm looking for it right now. I'm gonna tell you.
You're always looking for something. Anyway, back to my sauces. So.
No, we don't want to talk about them. Bleep sauces.
Whatever. Anyway, I do want to talk about GCG though, because they really been scrapping. You know, I give my hats off to my husband because the Louis Vuitton shirts is just one of the many shirts on, what is it, Gold Coast.shop?
Gold Coast Gang.shop.
Gold Coast Gang.shop/shop.
Yeah.
He has a Global Domination shirt. That's one of my favorite. I'm a big fan of. He has a signature shirts. I don't think they on the website yet. Are they?
No.
Should I say something on
Logo tees dropping. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it now. I'm not making a Juneteenth shirt. I decided to step out the way for some more established brands who have social commentary that's more in line with Black empowerment. I didn't want to just throw out a shirt just as a cash grab. And I could have, don't get me wrong, I sat and mulled over some designs, but I wanted to just step back and let some people who already had a planned out, I guess, marketing rollout, and people who usually have that kind of commentary reflected through their brand get off. So I'm going to support them. Of course, I am a Black-owned business, so you can just buy one of these shirts and wear it on Juneteenth. I'm not going to object to that. I mean, we doing that all day. But I didn't want to crowd the space by making a shirt and not really fully leaning into what the brand message is. So of course I'm Black, so I support uplifting the Black community. But
what was interesting to me, my friend on Facebook. Well, I know her too. She's my friend, but she was talking about how everybody was on her Zoom call, I guess, talking about, so what are your plans for the 4th? What are your plans? Are you getting ready for the 4th? Are you guys barbecuing, blah, blah, blah? She was like, no, I'm getting ready for June 19th. And I guess her supervisor was like, what's so special about June 19th? And she's like, Oh, maybe you can Google it. But she always has these interactions with like her white colleagues or
Who?
white supervisors.
Don't say the person's name.
Why can't I say the person's name? She okay. She probably be watching it. Cesare. But yeah, it was crazy because number one, I can't believe with everything going on that anybody is that unaware that they not knowing what Juneteenth is. Hello.
Who not knowing about Juneteenth is?
Hey, it was you.
I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm listening.
He's not listening.
She was on the conference. She was on a conference call. Shorty say, "Are y'all finna kick it for 4th?" She said, "No, we kicking it for the 19th." Somebody said, "What's the 19th?"
What's so special about the 19th?
Right.
Actually, that's what they said.
And what is so special about the 19th since you G checking?
Hold on, let me see.
What is so special about Juneteenth, Brianna? Since we putting each other on
That's
blast.
the day that we were really free.
No, not really free. That's
Well,
not,
we
that's
still not
the
really free. We free-ish.
Oh, that's
We
corny.
free-ish.
I saw a bunch of. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna
It's
say
not
it's corny.
corny.
I saw a bunch of
And my
shirts saying
thing is,
free-ish.
you just like any other black person talking about the next black person.
I'm not calling it corny. I'm just saying that's sending the wrong message with the whole free-ish.
What is the wrong message? We are free-ish. Look at this.
Mm.
What? Say it.
I'm gonna refrain.
No, you got to now. You already mentioned it.
I'm fully free. It's not a thing.
You free?
I mean, I'm free as the next
Free
person.
is when nobody else can tell us who to be.
I guess it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing. Is just it's real precarious. It's a situation, and it really troubles me about what we often find ourselves protesting is that these brothers who most recently lost their life, rest in peace, George Floyd and
Breonna Taylor, Rashard Brooks.
Rashard, because I said brothers. Rashard Brooks, and especially Breonna Taylor, who was a victim and she died, and a no-knock warrant. Her death was especially egregious. And it happened about a month before George Floyd, almost from my calendar.
It's 3 months today, I think.
It's about interactions with the law. So, when was I'm not going to say when was the last time you got put on and put you on blast, but the average person is not interacting with the authorities as much as black men are. And some of us black men are lucky enough to where we're not even having these same type of situations, interacting with authorities as much as we were. So I just kind of want to just pump the brakes a little bit on the narrative about black people and our rights when it comes to police interactions, because it's all of us are not criminals, and I feel like what we happen to do is getting messed up. But the whole free-ish thing is just, as black people, we made so many strides, and we have made so much progress, and we have enjoyed so much freedom and so much opportunity now that I don't want to push that onto the next generation, focusing more so on the I don't know, free-ish, man. We free. Blackish. The show Blackish is already fringe enough. The whole Blackish, grownish is already on the fringe of culture enough for you to be saying free-ish, I guess. But it's just kind of lighthearted.
Like it.
It's just kind of like it is. I like it. It's okay, but it's just kind of lighthearted. It's kind of lighthearted for what it really is.
We're not owning ourselves all the way. So we are free-ish. Like we don't own ourselves. We're trying, and we're doing a great job at, making strides towards owning ourselves, and we're about to be doing an even better job. And now this is all, going on, and people seeing the importance of why all of this is
still
going
on. Even though the news coverage is slowed down because the rioting and the looting slowed down, and the protests are still going on.
The protests are still going on. The disparities are still going on, and people are, finding even more importance to shop black and buy black and all of that stuff. Even, just now today we were talking about how we're supposed to, avoid shopping at certain stores, each day next week. But the reality is, it's just free-ish until we own ourselves.
Yeah, and I don't want to derail the conversation for sure. Yeah, it's free-ish. Anybody living in the capitalist country, especially America, is free-ish. It's always going to be that carrot in front of you, chasing it in a rat race.
But I think we've hit a lot of serious stuff for enough.
more.
One thing I want to talk about before we end is all the challenges that went on during the stay-at-home order.
Okay, I'm looking for. I had put them. It's so far down. I'm trying to find it.
We had a lot of challenges. You know, I love Meg. I love Beyonce, but I'm so tired of hearing the word savage. Oh my god.
Oh my god. You late for bringing that up, but yeah.
Oh
the
my
savage
god.
challenge.
But
my
no.
daughter was doing, and it got excruciating. It got excruciating, and Beyonce hopped on that song, and
daughter was here was with us for a little while during the stay-at-home order, and it's actually funny seeing fathers with their daughters, you know, because Savage Challenge was not.
No, it was not fun.
Daddy wasn't feeling that.
No, I wasn't.
Like, you a what?
No,
what?
No, I wasn't feeling that. Oh no.
Yeah, but the Savage Challenge is definitely a challenge that was cool, whatever. I got sick of. I don't know if it's because I couldn't do it, but maybe. But
all right, y'all. No. I found it.
Finally.
This comes from somebody posted on social media, and they said, question, a husband has a net worth of $3.5 million but only makes about $90K a year at his job. The wife makes $370,000 annually and has a net worth of $900K. In your opinion, who is the primary breadwinner? Keep in mind he has a net worth of $3.5 million, but he only makes $90K at work. She makes $370K annually, and she has a net worth of about $900,000. So, who is the primary breadwinner in this situation?
They both are. They both blessed. They both grateful. But no, I'm going from like our dynamic too, or whatever. I think it's hard to say because one of I think like wives end up going out and purchasing a lot or whatever, so their savings may not be as heavy or whatever, or the things that they invest in may not be as heavy as the male. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but just in this situation, I'm gonna go ahead and say she's the breadwinner, cause his money, he worth $3.5 million, but he's only bringing in $90K a year.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, if she lose her job, then
I get that, but what we're saying is the breadwinner. We're talking about money coming in. We're not talking about net worth. So yeah, she's the breadwinner.
In that case, you didn't even have to ask the question because you know.
No, I had to ask the question because I want to see what people think. You disagree, and so I get what you're saying about the way the stuff is broke up. You know, he probably is doing the heavy lifting, so he's the breadwinner. But if she bringing in $370K,
wait, that's not what I mean. Like, for instance, when especially during this pandemic, like, it was crazy, you know. Excuse me. You end up shopping a lot, like, grocery shopping. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's going to be super unproductive if I send my husband in the grocery store, right? So 9 times out of 10, I end up spending money on groceries, or, you know, I look at the baby's clothes every, you know,
day.
Whatever. I look at the baby's clothes maybe every week, and, you know, I assess what he needs, or I look at the baby's items and I assess what he needs, and then I go out and get it or whatever. But the husband is not always doing that, so, you know, his money may be put up in, I don't know, just like
savings, yeah. Situation.
And that's kind of how it is with us or whatever. Like, I'm always seeing a need to, we need to go purchase this for that. The baby's first birthday is coming up. The baby's first birthday is coming up. We need to purchase a bouncy house because with the pandemic going on, we can't use
And you sent me the bouncy house too. It was small, but it was a bouncy house nevertheless.
He's a baby. He's gonna have babies at his party, whatever. Anyway, but so I think it's not even really a matter of, you know, who's the breadwinner or, you know, who brings in the most money. They both win it. 'Cause $90K, a lot of us, you know, don't pull that in or whatever, and some of us especially don't pull in $370K. I know I love $370K. Hey.
$370K would be nice salary, but you would have $370K worth of bills too to be up there.
Yeah.
It was a few other things I wanted to obviously we were going into pre-production for the second episode. There's a few things I wanted to discuss, but they just don't seem like there would be time needed to talk about at this time. And I don't want to give such a somber tone today, but I do think it's just a good time for everybody to reflect on the difference in the way the world has changed just a little bit, for the positive, for the negative, however the cookie is crumbling on your end, but definitely just a time for everybody to sit back and reflect.
Yeah.
But Just Married podcast is back. We will be filming regularly. So no more hiatus, no more quarter long hiatus like how we had this time.
Yeah. I can't lie, I was a little nervous.
No.
I was a little nervous going into public. I personally quarantined myself to the point when we were ordering groceries, we weren't going out at all. But like he said, Just Married podcast is back. And on that note,
that's it. You got anything else you want to say?
Thank you guys for tuning in to us. We were overwhelmed by the great responses that we got from our first episode. And like Sydney said, we're going to be filming regularly. So keep sharing, keep liking, keep responding to my posts so we can discuss them on here and
for sure
give you some of the McClays commentary.
Yeah, and like and subscribe on YouTube, Just Married Podcast. We're trying to get our subscribers up. And go ahead and like our page on Facebook. And shop on GoCoastGang.shop. That's it.
And you can shop with Bree's Chill and Grill Marinades. You can email me at chillandgrillbybree@gmail.com to place your order. 3 marinades. I got honey garlic. I got all-purpose and seafood dip.
And your website can listen to chillandgrillsauce.com.
Yeah. All right.
That's it, man. Just Married Podcast is not a marriage podcast. We just married, and we'll see y'all next time. Skip.